from Welsh, Louisiana, and I am here because Alicia invited me today to talk to you guys about Young Living essential oils. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So, what are essential oils? Essential oils are basically highly concentrated liquids that you extract from herbs or the stems of plants. And they take these oils that you get from these plants and they distill it, and then they test it and bottle it and send it to you so that you can use for medicinal purposes. So these are therapeutic grade A oils, which basically means that they're organic oils that you can actually take by mouth. So instead of taking medicine.
Put this stuff in your mouth.
Right.
Any of them?
Yes, we will.
She used something on me. I don't think I put it in my mouth, but
It was for her headache.
We'll get to that in just a second.
okay.
Okay, so we all have something in our brain called the blood barrier that synthetic medicine cannot cross. Essential oils were designed by our Creator to work in sync with our bodies. Synthetic medicine makes our blood cells feel like there's a foreign object in our body. Therefore, they only mask symptoms that we have, whereas the essential oils work together with our blood cells to actually heal our body. Essential oils are anywhere from 100 to 10,000 times more concentrated than the herb in its original form. Not all essential oils are the same. So you can go to a, like, I don't know, Whole Foods comes to mind, but you can go to like an organic food store or a drug emporium type, and you can buy essential oils on the shelf, but on the back you'll notice that it'll say do not ingest or do not take by mouth.
It's not finished.
Because it is not a pure oil. So these all are pure oils, which means that you can take them by mouth. You wouldn't necessarily want to take them, because they're very, very concentrated. They might be nasty. So you can put them in capsules, which I got from a Whole Foods store. And so, like my son, he takes lemon, lavender, and peppermint every day in a capsule for allergies. So he's not going to drink lavender because lavender would probably be very nasty. But peppermint oil you can drink for an upset stomach.
Capsule together.
Yeah, you just want to get a vegetable capsule and take them by mouth that way. Okay, this company was founded by Gary Young as a small business in Utah in 1993. He now has over 125,000 distributors and has many farms in countries like Canada, Ecuador, and China. He's done extensive research on these oils, and he came up with the Seed to Seal promise, which means that they take proper care of the seed in the ground until they actually seal the bottle. You'll hear me talk about carrier oils. A carrier oil is going to be any kind of fatty oil like vegetable oil, olive oil, canola oil, any kind of cooking oil basically. There are some oils that you're going to want to mix with a carrier oil, because what happens is the essential oils are basically made up of very, very tiny molecules. So when they get into when you put it on your skin, they're going to get into your pores at a very rapid pace. So if you put peppermint oil on your skin, it's going to have like a burning sensation, kind of like icy hot wood. Well, what happens is those carrier oils, those are fatty oils, those cannot get into your bloodstream. So they're just slowing down the process of how fast the essential oil is getting into your bloodstream. So it doesn't feel as spicy when you're putting it on your skin. Does that make sense? Okay. So Young Living, they sell their own brand of vegetable oil, but I use Walmart organic pure olive oil. You just want to make sure that if you're using an oil that you get from the store, that it says a pure
We're going
oil.
back here.
We're doing
We
great.
need anything? No? Are you done with your sandwich?
Yeah.
You want to put it in a to-go box? Sure. You want them pancakes though, don't you?
So you just want to make sure that it's a pure oil, whatever oil you go and get. I just have Walmart brand olive oil, but it says pure on the bottle. So that just makes sure that you're putting a pure oil on.
Put that on before you put the oil.
Well, everybody can do it however they want. I have some people who will put the olive oil on their skin first and then the essential oil on. I mix mine together in a glass bowl before I do it on me. But it's really your personal preference.
When you did it, you just put it there.
Yeah, because we were at church and didn't have any carrier oil, so I just.
Did you put peppermint oil on? See, I can't do that with peppermint oil.
I think it was something else.
It was peppermint,
I think you,
unless it was lavender.
actually, you put 2 on me.
I think I did a lavender and the.
Okay. So,
Peppermint.
yeah, I mean, lavender is very mild. So, on the back of the bottles, it'll tell you if you can, if you should use a carrier oil or not. Some will say, no dilution required, and some will say, 1 drop of peppermint oil to 1 drop of carrier oil or whatever. So you always want to follow the directions. But I know a lady in Lake Charles who she uses peppermint oil straight on her skin and it doesn't bother her. I can't do it. It burns my eyes and it makes my eyes water, so I just can't do it. I mix peppermint oil with the carrier oil. But there's other oils that says dilution required, and I don't have to. So it's really your personal tolerance, your personal preference as to what how you want to use it. But it doesn't matter how you mix it or when you mix it or how you layer it on your skin. It's just a matter of what you can tolerate. Now, I mentioned earlier that their forms were organic forms, and basically what that means is they don't put anything on their plants, because when you put something on a plant like a pesticide, when you extract the oil from the plant, you're actually going to be extracting the pesticide from the plant and then ultimately be putting it on your body. So their forms are all organic. Also, the most important thing is to know your oils. So when you go to Walgreens and you see essential oil and you turn it over and it says do not ingest, you know it's not a pure oil. The FDA allows for companies to put pure essential oil as long as 5% of the oil in that bottle is pure. Everything else in there could be an altered oil. So if it says do not ingest, it's not pure. Okay. And so the easiest thing, because there's over 120 oils, the easiest thing, and that's what Alicia got started with, was the Everyday Oils collection, because it's their basic kit that you can replace most everything in your medicine cabinet with. And that's what we're going to talk about today. The things that I talk about, I'm just going to grab this book right here. This is one of my favorite.
I have that one.
You did? You bought it?
Yes.
This is one of my favorite books. I tell people, which I think that we're probably all believers in here, but sometimes I go and I never know. But even if you're not a believer, this is a really good book. Because we all know Bible times happened. And I always tell people Jesus didn't go to Walgreens.
Yeah.
To get Tylenol.
One.
They used what they had, There's over 188 references in the Bible about oils, like myrrh and frankincense and sandalwood and all these things that you don't really think about.
Yeah.
When you're reading the Bible and you don't know anything about essential oils, you just don't.
Ever
never thought
since-
of that.
Now that I'm reading the Bible, I always catch out now about oils and stuff. Like, we're doing the Old Testament, and I'm like, hey, yeah.
Right.
A lot of,
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So anyway, so a lot of information comes from this book, and then I also use these books. These are my little reference guide books, and these just basically help me if somebody says I have restless leg syndrome.
Like I call her all the time, text her.
Then I look in these books, because these books are basically reference guides to essential oils, because I'm not an expert and I have to use that disclaimer, which when you give your own, you'll need to do that. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, I'm not a nurse, I'm just a mom giving my testimonies on how they worked for me and my
Are you
family.
sure you're from Louisiana? You don't have the accent very much.
See, I told you.
I know, I don't know people,
Welsh is not close.
Welsh, yeah.
Is that where you're from? Well,
I'm from Jennings. I was raised in Jennings, but we moved to Shreveport. We lived in Shreveport for 13 years, and then we moved back a couple of years ago. But people in Shreveport thought I sounded a little funny, and I thought people in Shreveport sounded a little funny,
No, chef. You sound like half Texas, Louisiana.
Well, my mom's family is from like Oklahoma, so they didn't have that.
Ah,
They didn't have that thick accent. And neither does my husband really. His family's German. So we don't talk like those people down in Lafayette or New Orleans. But I like to listen to them too.
I don't think New Orleans has a accent.
New
I was
Orleans-
there for a year. Well, my husband was there for a year, but they're just horrible.
Yeah, I think New Orleans sounds a lot like New Yorkers. They sound like they talk
well,
like
they're
that.
not as rude though.
No. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So we'll just get started, and you can follow along. And if you have any questions, basically what this top sheet is the oils that you get in the everyday oils collection. And by each bottle, like you see frankincense, and it'll say all the things that you can replace frankincense with frankincense. Okay, so we are going to, you can keep that too if you want to give that to her. So we're going to just kind of start, and we're going to open the bottles, and we're going to smell them, and we're going to talk about different little testimonies that I've done. Okay, the first oil is Joy, and Joy is a good antidepressant.
That's the one you put on my heart, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, it smells so good.
I love it. It's one of my favorites.
We have had.
What'd you say you need that?
It went up my nose.
Oh,
You don't need that.
Joy,
Joy,
no joy.
you can
Sis?
You still doing okay? You want some more coffee, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
thank you.
So Joy can actually help to reduce high blood pressure. So if you have low blood pressure, you shouldn't use Joy. I have a lady in Welsh. Her
If you
husband
have what?
low blood pressure, you wouldn't want to use it. It can help reduce high blood pressure. So if you are someone who has low blood pressure, I wouldn't recommend.
Not to use it.
I wouldn't recommend to use that.
Just put 2 to 3 drops on your favorite cotton on and put in the canister of your vacuum cleaner. What does that do?
It's an air freshener.
Okay.
Yeah.
Means people can come to your house and have joy.
For air freshener.
Yeah. You can put it in your bath water to help with your moods. The lady in Welsh, her husband has cancer, and he's gone through a lot. They have 2 kids, a teenager and maybe an 11-year-old. And she called me one day and she said, "Do you have anything for depression? Because I don't want to tell him that I'm,
Doing it, yeah.
going through depression, yada." And she was on her way out of town, and so I sent a bottle with her to New Orleans where she was going to this meeting, and she sent me a text, and it said, I don't know if it's a coincidence or if it's the oils, but I have not felt like this in a long time. She said, I just started giggling for no reason. And she ended up getting a kit.
Yeah.
Because she, made her feel better. My mom one day, she was in a bad mood. She's not typically a person that is depressed per se, but she can get in a mood. And she was really aggravated one day about some things, and she wanted me to go to Walmart. And I said, well, I'm not bringing all the kids with me to Walmart because I have 5 children.
Oh,
So I said, I'm not going to Walmart with all the kids. I'll go with my kids for me, but if I'm going to grocery shop for you, you can keep them. And so I rubbed Joy over her heart, and by the time I got back, she was in the kitchen, and she was just as happy as could be. She was cooking with the kids, and later I heard her tell someone in a meeting one day that that helped her. So, so yeah. Okay, the other thing is there's gonna be singles and blends. A single oil is gonna be like lemon, lavender, peppermint, frankincense, those things. A blend is gonna be more than one oil in it to make an oil. So Joy is a blend and has several oils in it to make this oil. And you can always look on the back of the bottle. The bottles will tell you what, I mean, if it's a blend, it'll tell you all the oils in this oil to make that blend. And it'll also tell you how to use it. So just like medicine that you get from Walgreens, you want to read the back of the bottle just like you would there. And frankincense is the next one. We all know about frankincense. Frankincense was used on baby Jesus. And
Mary.
here you go.
She's like reading.
Now frankincense, it's strong, huh? Now keep in mind that these oils are more pure and they are strong. And I don't know about
And they
you,
go right up in the
but
nose.
for a while when we first started using the oils, it was kind of like, I don't know, some of these are so strong, but your body adjusts, like you just get immune to it, I guess. You just,
Do you like the frankincense, Felicia?
Taste in my
It's
mouth.
different.
No, I'm trying,
You
no.
can't smell it? Oh, I think
No, I can smell it. It reminds me of something. I just,
He's trying to figure it out.
yeah, I can't figure it out.
It's frankincense.
it's frankincense.
Frankincense.
Well, it could be, because, well, Catholics, we use
Yeah.
oil, so
Yeah.
frankincense.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
I had done a mixture, and I can't think of it. I jotted it down at home, but I had done a mixture of oils one day, not on purpose, but it just so happened, and I could smell like the chrism oil. And I'm like, what is that? And then I happened to do this, and I smelled it on my hands, and it smelled like the church, you know.
Of what you used.
And I can't remember what it was. It just was an accident.
Yeah.
It was just an accident. I didn't do it on purpose. But anyway. Okay, so frankincense is good for headaches, bee stings, anxiety, wounds, arthritis. A lady in Jennings, she bought a bottle of frankincense, 91-year-old lady who was having pain in her hands from arthritis. And she used it and loved it. And it helped the arthritis, so she ended up getting a bottle of frankincense from me. Cleopatra used frankincense on her face, so you can actually put frankincense in your moisturizer, and it would help.
Yeah,
I know
but
a
she
girl
was
who
eating-
uses it on her
I
acne.
don't want to be evil.
Also, frankincense is being shown to eat away cancer cells. That comes straight from the Young Living company themselves. They're doing extensive research on frankincense, and it is being scientifically shown to eat away cancer cells.
So would you put that in a capsule?
You could put it in a capsule. You could put it on the feet.
So you put like a, say, all over, what, would you dilute it or no?
No, frankincense.
You would just stick
don't-
it.
You don't have to dilute it.
So one drop on the bottom of each foot.
Yeah.
This is your stuff.
Hey, I'm still learning.
She's still learning. I've only met one time.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked at the conference very briefly because there were so many things going on.
Yeah.
We came and met. So you really haven't been to a
No,
class.
it's my first
This
time.
is her first time. Although you know more than you think you do.
I try.
Let's see what else. I mean, basically, I've had testimonies with frankincense and arthritis. That's the biggest thing. And then, of course, the pains in my hands.
You sure do. I forgot about that. That might help if you get that kit. You got the joy of frankincense.
Are you having some discomfort now? Because we can try it.
Not really. I mean, usually it hurts all the time, but I mean, sometimes it hurts worse than others. I
Yeah.
mean, if I move my hands and my thumbs the wrong way, it does hurt.
Yeah. Well,
Next time, let me know, and I have some of the at the kit at the house. Let me know, and I can do it.
now some of these oils are a little pricey, and I'll tell you the reason why they're pricey. It depends on how hard it is to get something. So for instance, frankincense, he has to go to Somalia to get frankincense. And frankincense, I didn't even know is a tree. I had no idea. Until I started researching.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it's a tree. It looks like a crepe myrtle. I mean, that's what it looks
Really?
like a crepe myrtle with no leaves. But anyway.
Wow.
So he has to go like to different countries to get that. So frankincense is going to be more expensive than lavender because you can grow lavender here. You can grow lavender anywhere. So you may look at some of the prices of the oils and say, oh gosh, but just keep in mind that's why.
And also, she was telling me, like you were telling me about the rose petals, about how much. I remember you
Yes.
telling me that.
So rose oil is going to be the most expensive oil in the product guide. And that's because it takes 5,000 pounds of rose petals. 5,000 pounds of rose petals to get 1 pound of rose oil.
Yeah, so it's like a
Can
lot.
you imagine 5,000 pounds of rose petals? Pounds.
Wow.
Not
And then-
5,000 rose petals.
and then
5,000
pounds.
of rose petals. It's
And then
crazy.
she was also telling me of just, which it makes sense. You go down to the store and you buy like a bottle of Advil, $12, $13. And that's really not gonna last, that long. But the drops that you get out, especially if you dilute it,
It
it lasts longer.
So essential oils never expire. Okay, so that's one thing. These bottles will last you 20 years if you don't use it. Whereas, medicine, any medicine is going to expire. And then these bottles right here, because these are more like the little starter kits, so these are more like the sample bottles. There's about 80 to 90 drops in here. And that sleek bottle right there,
This
close to
one?
that tea.
I was looking at this.
Yeah, this is when you reorder Joy, you're gonna get this size bottle. So these are like the little sample bottles. But this is the actual size of the bottles, which are gonna last you longer.
So those are 90 drops and how many?
This is 250.
Oh,
drops.
wow. Okay, yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
And make sure-
You may look at this and say, well, God, that's a little bottle, but it's really not because it'll last. I mean, it lasts.
And close the lids.
Close the lids. She had a little oil accident.
Yeah.
She didn't close the lid on
I lost my peppermint and my
I mean,
lemon.
I always just make sure that I close them as tight as I can because I've had some leak too.
Anybody did that, I know it would be you.
Shut up. Better be glad I prayed before I came.
Miss Grace.
No, you just didn't.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Okay, the next oil is peppermint oil. Now,
Oh,
peppermint
yes.
oil, Young Living